Hi guys, sorry about that. I had somebody just called me a couple minutes ago, but it's okay. Reason I'm doing a little video today, cause not yesterday. I think it was Wednesday. I went to see my doctor. I went to see her about my headaches I've been having. And no, it's not from the COVID. No, it's something else. They said it's how she explained it to me. Everybody in my desk have crystals in their head, and mostly in their ears. So once in a while they can fall out. They could loose. And so the lady was explaining it to me how it makes you dizzy when you move your head or do something. It makes you like bend and all that stuff, and so it makes it hard. I've been having it so bad. It's been horrible. It's been oof. I couldn't stand it. I still have it. I'm supposed to be sitting. I stay up, and I sleep up here. This is how I sleep. I sleep on my table here. So next they'll be killing me later for this, but I just deal with it. I would deal with it, but yeah. So that's what's going on. And no, when I got out of the hospital, when I went to go see my original doctor did my surgery. His name was Bash, and he did my surgery. And I went to see him. And before I saw him, I was supposed to have therapy come to my house. Didn't come in, so I went to see him. He asked me, do you got therapy in your house, or do you got therapy? I told him no. So I didn't hear no therapy. So I still don't hear no therapy yet. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I'm still in pain. I'm gonna be seeing him again soon. And I'm gonna tell him what's going on with my head too. I'm gonna explain what's going on, and all that stuff. So, and see what he says. And another thing is, I'm doing a video too for one reason today. Hopefully, I'll be right back, guys. So give me. Alright, and so one reason I'm doing a video, I couldn't do this right away because it's still heartbreaking for me. Reason I'm saying heartbreaking because it will make me cry. You guys see my videos. You guys see my first cat, my little black one. I always say, oh, hi, little bit, my yo. He's been missing. He ran off or something, and I only think in my mind was like he's having fun. Because he has lots of girls around here and all that stuff. So I wasn't too, because I felt his strength. I know he's alive because I felt it. And my two babies are I know my animals so good, and their thing is he was one of my witches cats. As he was one of my strongest animals. See, my two favorite colors in the world is actually black and white. Black and white, because white is good for light, and black is darkness. And I know a spell when I get to I go somewhere and it's super dark and I feel something really bad. I use my strength and I use my power, and it helps me. So my power is actually yin yang. And I had a cat was half that, black and white. I named him Yin for Pretty Boy, because Pretty Boy is part of him. My mom named him Pretty Boy because that's my mom's cat. It's over here, the one's beautiful, white, and baby, and that's his brother. And he knows he passed away. My dog knows he passed away. A lot of our animals know one of our families are not here anymore, members. And one night, I wasn't feeling good or something. I woke up because I went to bed early. I woke up to go use the bathroom. So my eyes wasn't wide awake. So you know how you like wake up and you're just a little tired and you wasn't focusing or nothing. And so I woke up. I went to use the bathroom. Not this side, but it's on this side over here. I looked down the floor. I have to pay attention when I'm walking because I'll make sure I don't lock all my cats because I have cats in here with me. When I came home from the hospital, I had 2 cats. I have one dog was staying here with me, and that's my Xena. I have 2 cats in here because they're girls and they're heat, but they love lying with their mommy. So when I came home, they were happy I was here. But so I woke up. We do this bathroom. I went to look. I was paying attention on the ground. And corner of my eye, it's like this eye, because that's how I walk to use the bathroom. I saw my cat Yo. I saw his spirit. And I cried so hard because that was my baby. He was my child. He was my everything. And that was the first time I actually had a boy. A cat boy. And, because I always had girls. I always had girls. I never had a boy. And, so, when I had him, he's part of his father's, Siamese. And his mother's a black and white cat. So, that's why I knew. And pretty boy over here, he's the brother of that cat, and so he knows how I miss my baby. And I love Yo. Yo's everything to me. Everything. And when I saw him, and I still see him around here, so I know his spirit. I'm okay, baby. I know his spirit is, see, this is pretty boy, this is part of his son, his brother, and so, I know he's still around, and all that stuff, because my white cat, she goes crazy. That one night, she ran back and forth yesterday night, and so I know she was, playing with somebody in my room. And my cat, Yo, he loves watching Japanese movies with me. No matter what, I'll be watching a Japanese movie, or I have my movies paused and I go use the bathroom, or go out and see what my mom wants, and all that stuff. And out of nowhere, you start hearing TV talking, and I get mad in my brain. I'm like, Yo, come on. We get to wait for your mother, you know. I know you like watching these shows with me. So no matter what, I know he's here. I know he's around. My dog, I think now she knows he's here. So now she's not growling at the other cats. She's not growling at me like she not growling at me. What it is, my brother's cat named. I love you too, baby. They were attacking her by the back of her leg, and I think my brother's cat was getting too jealous because my cat Xena, my dog Xena, never liked that cat in the first place because that cat, Travis's cat, not stinky but cuddles, attacked me. Scratch me and bite me and everything. There's one time I went to go feed her. I'm gonna go feed the animals like I always do. I don't feed them anymore because of her. Because she will actually hiss at me and wants to attack me. And so So it's so hard and all that stuff. So when I was in the hospital, it's okay, Bongo. And so it's hard for me and all that stuff. And everything. My cats are like, no, don't cry. They don't like when their mommy cries. They hate it. They think I'm in pain, but I'm not in pain. So it's this. Whenever I got home from the hospital, I had seen her, but when I hug her or lie on her like I used to, she was growling at me. And I'm like, no. She knows I will tell her no, and I will bite her. I will bite her ear. She knows I will. So what I had to do, I couldn't wait my other dog, Banshee. I can't let Lola or Chica in here. I was training my dog to not do this anymore. So my dog sleeps with me. She always sleeps with me, no matter what. Same as Pretty Boy and my big, huge cat right here named Pongo. Say hi, Pongo. And so this is my other baby. This is my other beautiful baby. Mwah. That's actually his Pretty Boy's stepdaughter. Him and his mama, Felicity. Felicity was Fitz. Fishy was pregnant before. I have a cat named Precious. That's his daughter, and we had a cat named Felicity. And one day she was going crazy, crying, and that's when this one came. And he was a baby when he was born. So nobody could feed her by hand, by a bottle. I had to. And because I think Felicity knew she was leaving or something, so she brought a new kitty to me. My mom tried to feed it and she couldn't. Like, I slept in this red chair. We had a bed, but we had them in the rooms, but put up, and so when we first moved here, beds were all different areas, but there's some beds we didn't have because we had to throw them away because they were ruined or bad. So I was sleeping on our big red chair and this footstool I was sleeping on out there in the room, because it was one night, it was so cold, it was the wind, it was super cold, and so me and Mom and my brother, we all got in this one, in the big room out there, we all slept in there, so that's where we've been sleeping, and all that stuff. So and she came. She sits on my chest. She still does. She doesn't like short hair. She's mad at me about that. But last summer I had long hair. You guys see my videos and you see my videos, my Instagram and my Facebook. I had long hair to here, and I dyed it. It was blue and everything. So I had long hair. But summer came, not soon, so I cut it. Because I wanted short hair. I didn't want it super short to here. I had it to here, I think it was. And all that stuff. So I love short hairs anyways, because I don't like long hairs, because it hurts my head. I think I could have my hair long, but I really have to go certain times and go to a hair salon and spend a lot of money and thin my hair out, because I have a thick hair. My hair is so thick, it's not funny. It's bad. So when my hair gets super heavy, my head gets heavy, I get headaches. Not dizziness, but headaches. And I'm not getting headaches now because I know my hair's not thick yet. As I put my hair down and I don't feel the thickness. So I know it's not my hair, so, and all that stuff. I said it last time when I get out of the hospital. There's a many chance I have to go get my hair cut and all that stuff and thin it out. I'm gonna see my aunt she will thin my hair because it's really heavy. It's not heavy now because I know it's not yet. But it's gonna get there because summer's coming, spring's coming. So around the summers, that's when it starts getting heavy because that's when I go in the water and and have fun because the heat. So I know all that, and so it's like, ugh. But my cat, I was talking about. He's one of my animal detectors, and I love black cats. When we always see a black cat on the streets, anywhere we go, we see a black cat. Our black cat, a lot of people are afraid of black cats because they're part of witches. But I love my black cat. I love my cat, When I had him, and he was born, him and Pretty Boy and his sister, because he had a sister. They were all from the same litter, and all that stuff. When we were moving to Arizona to Texas, and we had a lot of animals, tons of animals. I had a horse. Her name was Felina. She was my first horse I ever had. I had two of them. It was one of my birthday gifts from my stepdad. He got me one of those, 2 horses. Freckles, I couldn't ride because I never rode a horse before. I did when I was 16. I went to a place to go ride a horse because that was one of my birthday gifts to do. It was fun. But Freckles, I couldn't get on him. He was 16 feet high, and he was tall. He was taller than me. I was like, holy crap. Freckles, no matter what, he was tall. But he was a boy, and I don't like boys. Boys are a little bit evil. And so I had him, and then he had a daughter. This guy lied about this horse. That's not his original daughter. That's like his stepdaughter. And so I trained that little one. She was a baby when we got her. A baby. She's like a little pony, because that's what she was, a little pony. And I trained this horse. I trained her big time. And I can't say, horses are really, really expensive. There were. Hay was expensive, the oats were expensive, the salt was expensive. Oh my god, I didn't know horses was that. I never knew horses were that expensive. I never knew that. And the people out there who have farms and have horses and all that stuff, I see what you guys do with your horses and out there. It's like, sometimes I wonder how you're making money and feed those guys. But so it was hard for us because I'm special needs. I was on a special. I only get paid once a month, and all week we had to. So it was so hard. But it was fun. I had fun with my horse. I really did. I had fun. We had 10 acres of land. We had a goat. His name was Buddy. He was my detector. We had chickies. We had ducks. We had 2 horses. Out there in the 10 acres of land, we had a lot of cats. A lot of cats. We had 3 dogs. Oh, actually, 4 dogs, I should say, because we had 2 old dogs with us. My brother found one time because the town we lived in is called Douglas, and it's a small little town, super small. And so we're living in this one house, and one day my brother came home with these 2 dogs, and I was at school still. I was in school, and we lived in Arizona, in Douglas. My brother came home because he graduated in 2005. That's when my brother graduated. So he was already out of high school. I wasn't. So when we moved I just say it so badly. I went to 3 high schools. That's how bad I was in high school. See, the first high school I went to is called Palo Verde High School. That's in Arizona. And that high school was actually cool. I had fun in that high school. I will never forget that high school year. Because that's the Douglas Palo Verde High School. I had PE. I always thought I was done with PE from kindergarten. But my dad said I wasn't, because I did my best to skip that class and try to hide. And yeah, I tried to do everything to get the hell out of that class. I don't like PE at all. I hated PE. And a lot of stuff. So when I went to the school, they said, "Oh, you have PE." I was like, back in my head, it was saying, crap, brains, doodles. I was so angry at my body. I was mad. And so I was like, fine, I just do it. And whenever I found out about that PE area was haunted, I was like, okay, I'll go PE. It's haunted. Okay. And it actually was. It was really haunted because whenever we're inside the dorm, is the PE area. It's a big area where the football, basketball is, and you play dodgeball and tennis in there. Like little stuff, like what you call those red balls, and they do tag it with you with those. I hated those. I hate those. It was dust day. I stay out of it because I was. Don't hit me. But nobody ever hit me because they know not to fuck with me. But we're never in there too much. It's rainy, that's when we go in there. But when it's sunny and really windy, we go out there. Because everybody was afraid of inside that room. Everybody didn't like, the teachers don't like being there. And all that stuff. But for me, I didn't care. Because I love it. But my PE teacher, this is the time I lied to my PE teacher so many times. Because I told the PE teacher I don't have the money to buy the uniforms, the PE outfits and all stuff. So I always have to say, I don't have sometimes I go in there and I tell them the truth. I'm like, I don't have the money to get the shirt and all that stuff, but I do have the shorts and all that stuff. It's just like grayish shorts you to wear. So, and all that stuff. So from being so like, so the last straw, he said, you don't have your uniform, you will fail this class. And when he said that, back of my head, my mind is like, screw it. Just lie to him. Just say, oh yeah, I got it. One day, it was the last day of PE. And I knew that was the last day of PE. Because he made us do a lot of stuff. And I did with it. That was the day I lied through my biggest mouth. Out of my little mouth, I should say. I lied so badly to that teacher. I told him straight up. And I'm a little bit happy he actually didn't ask me to lift my shirt up, my little sweater up. I was wearing this sweater. It was like 100 and something out there in the heat. It was so hot. That was the hottest day. I was a little bit proud of myself. I think that was the day I balanced my energy. I did a lot of my energy. Because when he told us we're going outside to do a lot of PE things, I did a little spell to myself. I know I should have not done this, but I did. I did a little spell when I was little to myself. That's how I wasn't hot, I wasn't sweating, I was cool. Because I used my strength power. And so, everything else was hot. But when he told us to do this lap we had to do, it was super hard. It's called 1 mile run. But you don't have to run it, you have to walk it and then run. And so that's because a lot of girls and a lot of boys, that was like, because we had PE early in the morning, and so we were like tired and all that stuff. That's the day I lied to my teacher, and I told him I was wearing I got that shirt, I got that outfit, and all that stuff. And I'm not kidding you, that sweater was super hot for me. It was all the way up to I could have my hand, my sweater goes to this far. Because that's how big it was. It was my grandma's. And not just that, it was my favorite shirt. I love that sweater. That was my. But then that, I knew my grandma's, because my grandma passed away too a long time ago, and I knew her spirit was with me on that sweater. So I knew I was a little bit safe no matter what. But I put my strength, my effort into all this to do this. Everybody else took a break, drinking water, except me. I didn't stop. When he said a mile, and I had to do a little bit extra because a couple times in PE I skipped. So I had to do more. I was doing more for I to pass. I was like, I'm done with PE. I do not want to do it. I do not want to do it anymore. So I did more PE stuff, more than the other kids did. But when I stopped to take a break, everybody, I'm not kidding, all the boys and all the girls alike. But when after the PE was over, and then we went into the walk, like, inside and go to our lockers to get changed and just get our outfit, like, regular clothes back on. One of these girls, the ones picked on me, they saw me. I took my sweater off. I went like this. I wasn't sweating, but my energy was like my energy. I sat down and I was like breathing slowly, doing what I need to do to get rid of what I had on me. And so, and the girls came around the corner and like, you weren't wearing your PE shirt. You lied to the teacher. And one of the girls said, I'm gonna go tell. I'm like, you go tell? You want me to kick your ass like I did last time? And the one is the leader of that group. She stopped her and said, no. What I did was nobody could do what I just did. There's no way no way nobody could do this. And it's true, because there's nobody. And see how big I was? That's how big I was in high school. And so it was I was brave, and I did this. And the girls were being mean. The ones that were bullies, they stopped and actually kicked my friend. And all that stuff. And so and then we're all waiting outside in the big museum, because after that we had a few minutes, and so they let us change our outfits, and we need to go in there and we just sit, talk, and I was talking to the boys, and the PE teacher called me in, And everybody thought I was in trouble, but I wasn't. That was the day he said I passed PE. I jumped so high, I danced so badly, and after he said that, I ran out that door, jumped so hard, and I slid through my feet on my knees. I was like, yes! And everybody's like, what just happened? And I was so excited. I got, it was like a little square form of you graduated from PE. I was like, yes! I was so happy, so bad. I was like, and after when I got it in the bell ring, I went to my classes. I ran to my two twins that were rocking horses. I ran to them like, guys. They're like, what? I went like this to them. They were happy too, because they didn't have PE. They didn't have PE anymore, because they did it from kindergarten. And they hugged me. They're like, told you did do it. and so from me doing that, from graduating from PE, they were happy because I passed it. And so for my PE and all that stuff, I was having fun. I was not mad that day. I was happy. The teachers kept me happy. They didn't want me to get sad or mad or angry. I was super happy. I did some fun stuff. And then it was reading time. The teacher in that class, I hated her, but she's like, you'd have some fun. You could have two things. You'd have music on and please read. I had music on and I was reading at the same time. I was having fun. And so, for me doing that, I still did a lot of my other stuff, but when I went home time, I ran to my mom like, Mom, I passed. I don't have to go PE ever again. I was super happy. And I was so happy. And that's the time and after I passed, that was the next day I know, because my mom was talking about it, to moving to my grandma's house. Because my grandma's house is so cool, and my uncle rented out to some people, but my mom called my uncle and asked, hey, well, can we move to mom's house and all that stuff? And my uncle said, yeah, sure. So we moved to my grandma's house. And it was like summer coming, so I was walking horses, I was saying goodbye to them, I was saying goodbye to like all my friends, and I was telling them I was moving too, so there's a many chance I won't be in this Palo Verde, so I don't know, and all that stuff. So Palo Verde, then went back. That was my freshman year. My 10 is, what do we call it? I went to another school near my grandma's house. And that's the house. That's the high school I will say I fucking hate. That's the high school I wish I said I want to burn that school. That's how bad I hate that school. I wish it would burn down, because I hated it. I was the year of that high school. I got bullied. I got sometimes picked on. I didn't care we're in a new high school. I didn't care too much, because it's like, my mind was like, whatever, it's another high school. It's not a freshman year. But I didn't know anybody in that high school. I didn't know anybody. Except one. His name was, I call him Egghead because he was an egghead. His head was shaped like an egg. But he knew me, my brother, and my sister, because he used to come over, and he was one of our neighbors. And so he recognized me. I didn't recognize him, but I actually did, and it was horrible. And so and I had different classes. I didn't just have one class. I had so many classes. I had a cooking class. I I had art class because I love art. I had art twice. I had art class twice. I had history class twice because I had the same teacher in twice time. I had cooking class once. And I had some other classes. And so, in my history class, my art class, I never got picked on. I never got bullied or nothing because everybody didn't care too much about me because the teacher loved me because of what I do. I had reading class. I did have that. And it was a journal class. And it was a cool class. I liked that class. He has this board written with questions. You actually have to write them in your journal. After you write them down in your book, and you have to figure out all those words, you have to put them in sentence, or you have to figure out what they mean. And so you have to have a dictionary in windshield the whole time. So when I was in that class, I wrote it down in like a sentence how I would thought it was. And sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. Or not always wrong when I go back over it, because he told us to go back over it. But he didn't want to see our journals. He would see our journals end of to Monday to next Friday. So, no matter what, we get like a whole month with where's our journal? So we have we have Monday, then we have all the way up to next month Friday. So if that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's like, what is that? I'm not too sure. But so we had all that time. Because on the weekends, we had to go over our papers to make sure we get it right. And all those words, you have to type them in, see you know what it's from. Because he wants you not just the words. He wants to know how did you found it, or what's it about. So it was cool. I liked that class. That was one of my favorite classes. And my art class was right next door. So I didn't care because after that class, I go out and I go down to the right. To the left. Because the right is that way. That's going back out that way. I was going to the left, and I went to my art class. And so that was my art class. And then so that school, I didn't care too much, but there was these big boys. And all that stuff. One of their friends had a crush on me. Big time, I does. But I never knew it. I don't know why boys are always afraid to ask. I don't understand that. I do not understand that. I'm 100%. And so one of the boys asked me straight up, will you come hang out? One of the big boys was that little one. He was a short one. He was afraid to ask. So one of the other boys, he's a driver. He has his own truck and all that stuff. He asked, would you come hang out with us? I go to the movies and all that stuff. So I said yeah. I have to first go home and talk to my mom and see if she says yes or no. And they understand because it was school night, and so we had to ask permission and all that stuff. So they drove me off. They said after school meet me up front. And I said okay, because I always take the back way always, but front time, I meet him up front. We're all getting this big, huge, a red Spurman, and so we all gone in there. Me and this guy was in the back, and these other guys were in the back. So it was big enough for like a whole bunch of people. And so we're all sitting there, we're all having fun and talking, and then they dropped me off. The one was the driver is like, okay, and they all got out. They actually all came. I'm like, Mom. I opened the door. My mom was in the kitchen doing stuff. She was dressed and all that stuff. And my mom's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, this is my friend. I was praying. He went up to my mom, talked to her, and said, hey, is it okay I take your daughter, that's like four boys and me. Is it okay I take her and we all go to the movie theaters down the street? Because it was actually down the street. And because the airport wasn't that far from where we were going. Because that's where the movie is. It's like near the airport. And so that's where we went. My mom said, okay. But please make sure she's back for midnight and all that stuff. So I had to be back for midnight, so that was like around 10 and 11, around there. And so we're hanging out, we're driving, then we went to the movies, then we went to ice cream, so we had fun. And they took me home, and they're like, see you tomorrow at school. I'm like, okay. So we all had fun, we all had pretty funny times. One time, it was the weekends. They asked, "Hey, you want to go with us to the mall?" I said, "Sure." That's where a lot of people go hang out in Arizona, because that's what the high school I was at. And so we went to the mall. We hanged out at the mall. We went shopping. My mom gave me some money, and I went shopping. And the mall has this book area I like going through, because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon are my things. So I had the book of a Yu-Gi-Oh! And inside that book had a card. It was the girl and all that stuff. So he broke up with me and he was gonna take the card. I said, hell no. That is my book, that is my card. Fuck no. And all that stuff. So I had a fight with him in Stroll and Side Stroll. But he was tired, pooped out, and all the boys and the big boys are like, dude, she's right. That is her book. She bought that, not you. Because you didn't have the money to buy it, you said, and she did. And so those boys understood what I was saying. And so he handed me my card back. He gave me my book back. And so when he did that, I have not talked to any of them anymore and all that stuff. And I understand why they didn't want to talk to me anymore, because there was a group of people. See, before they quit talking to me, and for me and this one boy, my boyfriend, before we had a fight, we had history together. We all had history together. We had this one class, and it was bad. It was a war. He was like talking about the war. About the Buffaloes War and the animal and all that stuff. And that was we watched a movie about the animal and how the war. That was a sad movie. That really was. But I understood it and all that stuff. And so I had to so us four, because we choose a group, so it was me and four boys, so there was 5 of us. We choose to be a debtor into this group. Come in. Oh. Thanks.
I opened it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mom took a sip of the lemon juice. The one you can drink. She took a sip of it. Here, bro, please.
Okay. So, and all that stuff, so it was so hard. It was broken and everything. So we were at lunchtime. We were all sitting there. We were all thinking, and we were supposed to go to for all the fight. We had this other girl. She came and sat down with us, and when first she came and sat down, she heard us talking about the history about and the slaveries and all that stuff. But we were talking about it because we were talking about it for a reason, because it was for our homework. We were doing, so we were all, our books were out. Our lunches were inside, but we had papers in front of us and books. And I found out one of my mom, so I told him, hey, my mom told me something, because and all that stuff. I have a great uncle. He was actually part of this. He was in the war, and I never knew that. I didn't know he was there with the Buffaloes, helping save these and save their, those kind of people, the slaves. And So, when she heard all that, she came by and sat down with us. She wasn't with our group at all. She wasn't in our class. She wasn't in our group. So she should have not. But we were nice, let her sit with us. And so we're all sitting there talking. And one of my other friends asked, we were talking about how did it start, the war. And we're all sitting there thinking, we're all looking through the paper, and then one of them said about the slavery, and but why did it, in the paper it actually says nigger on it. And so we said the niggers, and we didn't want it to, but we had to, because that's part of the homework too. We had to say the word. We couldn't say slave. We had to say the word. So that girl, she was black, and she heard that, and she went to tell one of her friends, and he came to me, and he spit in my eye. He spit in my face. He came to us, and we all knew there was gonna be after she got up so fast and walked away, the big boys are like, why the hell did she got up so fast? And so we're all sitting there talking, and out of nowhere, in my corner of my eyes, I saw her and him coming right in the corner. I'm like, great. And they're like, what's up? And they saw it too. They're like, oh shit, there's gonna be a fight. I'm not telling them, you guys stay out of this. This is my fight. I take care of this. And so she pointed at them, and I'm like, and she pointed at the whole table. All these people at this table was talking about this, about us. And I stand up. I'm like, I didn't stand up right away. I said, no. See, I told her, this is what I told her. I told her, shut up, stop, right there. Because I told her straight up, you're not in our class, you're not in our group for this, so you just came and sat down with us. And you knew we were doing homework or studying for stuff, and you came and sat down and listened to what we was talking about. Our papers in front of us was the list about the slaves. You saw what it said in the front. You have to say that word, nigger, slaves. And so she got angry about that. So she told him, and he got so mad. He grabbed my paper, ripped it up in little pieces, tossed it at my friend's table at them. My friends were picking up their paper, getting all the paperwork, and then all the books. We're already done with our food. Our food trays were already up there and on the table. But when he spit in my face, my table, we're sitting at, it went flip. So all the papers in the book went everywhere. So all my friends were picking all that up. I stand up. I went like this. I said, okay. One, you just did a no-no to me. I didn't care you got my paper and ripped it up, because I got my friends that would have made it in a copy for me, so I did mine. But the second thing you did is spit in my eye. That's the law. That's assault and all that stuff. I didn't insult you. I didn't say nothing about you. So, and all that stuff. So I stand up. That cafeteria people all backed off, because they know, don't fuck with me. Because I'm not a normal girl in this store. I was tough. I showed my bad side one time. And I was so strong. I picked that table. Everybody's like, and those tables were not light. No. Those tables were heavy. And the cafeteria people and like all the people just cooking, they all went out the window, out their doors, and they're all standing there. And I told him, you have 2 seconds to apologize to me, or you better get ready to run out that fucking door. Because I touch you, you're fucking mine. I'm kicking your ass. So he ran so fast out that damn door, like nothing. He's smart. He went to the principal. I went to the principal. I didn't get in trouble with the principal. He did. I sat down. I talked to the principal. See, she wanted my story first. So she told him to go wait in the reading room. And I sat down with the principal. One of my friends came back with all the work paper of my homework. And they get her the copy of what I was supposed to have. And so she saw my paper, and she saw the list. And on that list said it clearly, when you do your story, you must say the whole things. What's it about? And she saw the thing. You must say the slaves of the niggers. And all that stuff. My teacher, my principal, understood what was going on. She knew I was, and so I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get in trouble because I was doing homework. We're sitting down. We're a group. We were doing our homework and all that stuff. That's when he got suspended for the whole year. Same as the girl. She got suspended too because of what they did. Because she got in trouble too. Because they said, and she asked my friends to come in what happened. And we all explained it, what happened. This one girl, she came down, sat with us. We didn't mind, she sat with us because we're done eating and all stuff. But we're talking about our homework. And we're doing a lot of our research. And we're going through papers and we're sitting there writing and doing stuff. And I was drawing the slaves. That's what I was doing, the slave drawings. And so from all that, the teacher, so they told her what she did. And after we said we must say the slaves of the niggers. After she heard all that, she got it so fast and she ran, walked that way, out the door. We all said it. We knew, after we said that, we knew there was going to be a fight. And all that stuff. And I said, none of them should not get worried, because I will take care of her, because I saw them out of the corner of my eyes. This time, she bought one of her friends, and it was a boy. So, I didn't get in trouble. My friends didn't get in trouble. Those two did. They both got suspended for the whole month. And all that stuff. And after school, he was always waiting for me. He was always calling me names. He was always whistling, saying mean stuff. And there was two other girls in front of me. And he was saying all that. And they all thought they were saying it to them. And they turned around and they saw me. I'm like, no, it's about me. Keep going. And he was being mean. He was getting closer and closer to the girls. I stopped. There was two more girls behind me, and he was getting too close to them. I stopped and I told the girls, "All you guys go in." I let all the kids go in, and I waited outside. And I stopped him. I'm like, I'm not afraid of you. I did the right thing. You did the wrong thing. So I'm not the one got suspended. So after school, he's always threatening me. He was always doing stuff to me. And so one day at school, and I was walking, because I walk home. I walk to school and I walk home, so it wasn't far from my house. But in front of my house, the street I take, it's so busy, so you have to really pay attention. And I was walking on the side of the road, on the highway, because it was the highway where we live was by the highway, and the school was past the highway. So going from school, going home, I was near there were some other punky kids. They're badass. I know they were Mexicans, but I didn't care too much because I knew how to deal with those kind of people. And And this one guy, he had this red car, and he was trying to flirt with me, and he's like, "Oh, you're so pretty," and all the nuts. But he had all these other girls that were skinny, and they were making fun of me because they were mad at me because they were in a cooking class with me, and so they were making a lot of fun of me. And there's a guy has a chainsaw, and he was cutting trees. And he hears me start yelling at these boys and these girls. I'm like, "Don't make me call Chainsaw Massacre to come kill you." And they're like, "Yeah, right, there's no massacre killer here in Arizona." But the neighbor heard he said that. He turned his chainsaw. So, they heard that, they're like, they all got back in the car and they all took off. And after I saw them turn, I'm like, "Thanks, neighbor." He waved his hand to me. And so I start walking down to the street. There's a gas station and all that stuff. So I'm walking to the gas station. And so I had to pass the gas station. I had to go this way and go on this side. And I gotta wait for a little bit because it's a highway. You got semis, you got cars, you got crazy stuff. So you have to really pay attention. And so I'm standing there and all that stuff. And the wind, it was windy day too, so it was hard to hear stuff. And then having the cars go by, vroom, vroom. But that's when I used my other power, the wind power. And what it